24-hour LDC 69. Or, 24-hour LDC 69. It doesn't matter. It's all chocolatey or something. When will SMWCentral give us a 420-hour SMW level design contest? Message Hiraga. He might like to hear about your ideas and subscribe to your newsletters. You may find them intriguing. I'm certain he won't complain about crackpots annoying him. Skyscraper Sunlight. Okay. Speaking of cities, now that is a background. It is blindingly blue. Actually, I just realized there's a lens flare. Oh, I can't go inside. Oh, hello. City seems to have an arson problem. I love the flames that fall down and have no recourse. Yeah, I'm just not dealing with that. Good luck 24 hours. Thank you. How you doing, Brawler? I just noticed the other types of lightning. With lightning! Real lightning! Oh, there was real lightning there. Anyway. 420-hour. What would that be in real time? Oh, hello. 7010 needs more water? I suppose it does. How you doing, Kappa? Oh, pfft. Lensflare is pretty looking. It's true. How you doing, Magmatic? I mean, in stationary scenes, it looks really nifty. I will say when it's moving, it becomes really obvious what the trick is. But I'm not complaining. I think it's a nice thing. Also, won't deny, that skyline looks suspicious to me. I wonder if it's a real skyline. Like, if you told me this was San Francisco circa 1990, I might believe you. I'm not really seeing the wharf building. It wasn't uncommon for companies to take inspiration from real places and things like this. Good, excellent. Also, thank you for the 64 months. Dang, that is a long time, Kappa. How are you doing? Got distracted by the lens flare, as I often do. I don't know what my plan was there. I'm good, excellent. Yeah, I've been sick for the last week or so, which has been annoying, but we're back. To some extent. Today, I woke up, I wasn't, like, overly congested or anything. This might be a shorter stream if my throat, like, starts to hurt or something. Like, I'm not gonna, like, go get some Ricola and power through, is all I'm saying. But we will see. It's such a weird odd man out thundery thing. I like this obstacle here quite a bit, actually. Well, until it hit me. And then it hit me. Okay, well, not sure I had time to do anything. I was expecting the other kind of fire. But that being said... Oh. Yeah, it's been annoying, especially because a few places near me have gotten the Pokemon Pinball. Which means that, like, if I want to play it, it's a lot easier to go play now. Because there's not a whole lot of people, like, trying to play it. Or at least will be as many. Though honestly, right now, the code is a bit shallow, so I'm not really sure I want to spend that much time playing it, but I would like to get the wizard mode. Just because it looks funny. And isn't that hard to get. It's more on the James Bond side of things. In terms of difficulty of getting a wizard mode. Because all you have to do is play 4 modes. And the 4 modes in that game are really easy to get. You just hit one of the ramps, loops, whatever have you, 3 times. And you qualify and do the mission. And the nice thing about the Pokemon missions is, like, there's only 4 of them. One of them's a multi-ball, so that's a freebie. Like, as long as you play it, you don't have to succeed it, you simply have to play it. That's kind of the key here. So you can get that one a lot easier than you could other ones. Basically, like, bring a multi-ball into one of the other missions, and you're solid. You don't have to worry about it. Right, it does that. So I feel like I should be able to hit that one fairly easily. Not that it matters presently, because it's not like they're tracking that kind of thing. But also, it just sounds like a cool little mini wizard mode. The basic premise is it's Pikachu versus Charizard. And in this mode, it's a 4 to 6 ball multi-ball, depending upon how well you did at the 4 modes. So for each mode you completed, i.e. finished successfully, you will get an extra ball in the multi-ball. So you complete no modes, you get 2 balls. You complete all the modes, you get a 6-baller. To be honest, for multi-ball, anything past, like, 2 is kind of... 2 or 3 is often lost. Because, like, you can't really play a 6-ball multi-ball effectively unless you're going to do the, like, I'm holding these balls in reserve thing, which is the smart move if you're playing multi-ball. It takes a fair amount of getting used to playing the game one-handed in a way. Because you need to hold... the balls in one flipper set, and then actually use the other one, and only the other one, which is the tricky bit. But anyway, I really hate this spot right here. Like, that's just a little bit too low. Then all this is just... I keep forgetting that's there. What a crowded mess. Like, I'm not really sure what the play here was. Maybe I should try to hold on to a shell a bit longer so I can just nuke that. But anyway... Oh, whoops. I wanted to hold on to a shell, and here I am just throwing it. Okay. Yeah, that's the opposite. Well, I got Fireflower this time that I might keep for half a second. Like, that is a very claustrophobic set of jump right there. Come on, there we go. Look, a PB. I did not see the laser there. Oh, no, no, no. Ah, I panicked. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I've really done this week, and the answer is not much. Watched some Underdogs. Did finish up the moderation work on a couple of the hacks that needed to happen. I just completely forgot about them. Like, not that important, but still, you know, I had it on my list to do, and I needed to do them. Wasn't that hard? And Baba Is You is continuing to go out on YouTube, which statistically no one's watching, but that's fine. Okay, here we go. We're gonna bounce on this guy a couple times. Didn't quite do that. What's going on with the score here? You mean when I jump on a Koopa or something? Yeah, so when I jump on a Koopa, it's a little bit garbage. I suspect because they've replaced some tiles somewhere in the score area. But I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely not my fault. My tech stuff doesn't interfere with that kind of thing that I know of. I could reboot and check it out later, but I do not believe it to be my fault. Yeah, it's a graphical glitch. It happens. I wasn't really going to hold it against them, because sometimes it happens. But it is what it is. I guess in other news, I've been enjoying some, like, Japanese Twitter nonsense. The two best ones I've seen this week was one where someone's like, the name Project Hail Mary is boring, and proceeded to give it one of those gigantic isekai names that tells you exactly what happens in the book. And the other one that was really funny was someone replying to a guy who says, hey, this sounds kind of like Persona. And dude's like, I wrote this in 1996. He's the guy who wrote the original Shin Megami Tensei books, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Very much a don't teach grandma to suck eggs moment. Oh, I didn't even see those. Which is a weird, very weird idiom when you come to think about it. Finally. Custom timer? Maybe. Like, the problem with this level is really, I cannot, by any means, see what's going to happen early enough to make good decisions. I'm going to the pipe. Oh no. I've got a bad feeling that I know who made this. Oh no. It's not usually. I think the clock is usually there. How you doing, Roblox? Roblox newbie and Naughty Q. I suddenly have a feeling I know who made this, based upon the simple, I know they enjoy this specific ASM. This might be Boozius. It might not, but it might be. I don't know, actually. Kind of going back and forth. I don't feel like the level design was the kind of thing Boozius usually does. But Boozius is like the only person on SMWCentral who actually likes this wing thing. Anything down here? No. Statistically, so I don't know. Oh, whoops. X-City tile set, kind of like that one. That's nifty. Palette animation's kind of funky. Well, palette animation always comes across a little bit weird. It's the nature of palette animation. Unless you're, like, dealing with a true master like Mike Ferrari. His stuff is truly amazing, and you've probably seen it if you've played any of, like, the Monkey Island games. I didn't realize he worked on those. All I knew him from was, Heaven and Earth. He made some of the backgrounds and stuff for that game, puzzle game, which are truly beautiful. What's the point? Actually, I guess the point is to get me a fire flower if I want it. He has a great website showing off the palette animation stuff, because not only were they palette animated, they also could do, just by palette adjustment, different times of day, which is pretty impressive in my book. Can I just... I'm not going to do it, but I could. Yeah, I think Boozius usually has more care than that. It's interesting to put, like, munchers up there. Never mind, actually. It's not where they are. Why would I need falling? What? Nah, this is totally Boozius. Yeah, if this isn't Boozius, I'm gonna be shocked. Did apply a ceiling border patch? It's true. Sometimes the ceiling border patch doesn't work on SA1 on SD to SNESes for some reason. I moderated a hack by a Portuguese dude a while back. And, like, he had applied that patch to his ROM, but I constantly found spots where I could go above the ceiling, and I don't know why. There are occasionally, just incongruent, maybe not Boozius. Times when things don't work correctly. Because the SA1 isn't perfectly implemented, or the understanding of the SA1 is a bit lackluster when a given patch is rolled. It's rare to come across one that actually affects gameplay. But there was one really good hack, it was a Christmas hack, that had that problem, where there was a single block that would not break. You had to fire flower a block to get a Yoshi coin, and you got a special bonus if you got all the Yoshi coins in every level. Which was like character, you unlocked newer characters to swap to, which is fun. But, like, you couldn't do this on hardware without cheating, so I just cheated my way to it. But I don't know why. It doesn't work for the Portuguese. You know? Maybe. It does remind me, I looked into this recently. Fortaleza Reznor looks like it's just down now, which sucks. Because, like, I went there the other day just to, like, look at something, and, like, it's just gone. It's got, like, a hosting thing going on. It makes me wonder if the site's just dead, or if, like, the person hosting it just didn't notice that they needed to renew their certs or something. Dang it. Really? Yeah, at least last I checked. Hopefully it's not... I mean, maybe it came back up. No, it's a website that is trying to sell some sort of... what looks like possibly an air compressor. It's also Chinese. So... they've lost their domain name, at least. Or they've been hacked so thoroughly they're now selling Chinese air compressors. Maybe he wanted to pivot to selling Chinese air compressors. I don't know. Who can fathom the mind of the Spanish-speaking Mario World community? They're a strange lot. Interesting, but strange. But yeah, disappointing. Just a little bit. Going back and forth on this. Also, piece speed with this is weird. Kind of don't want piece speed with this. I think. Okay. Come on, give me the power up. I want the power. I wanted the power. I couldn't handle it, though. It's like, am I in new territory? No, I've been here before. Gotta say, if you don't arrive at the right spot, the spawns for these are weird. If you enter the contest, they're quite tough for you sometimes. Oof. Which you can only assume is a porn website from the domain name. Then maybe we're getting different things, because, like, I went to the website, and I don't have JavaScript enabled. So, it's very possible different things are happening to different people. Because I don't turn on JavaScript on random websites. Because random websites don't deserve JavaScript. It isn't 1996 anymore. It just isn't. Back when JavaScript was largely used to annoy people. But it was at least funny. Dang it. I do recall a number of things where I would, like, change the status bar message, or what have you. Now the status bar doesn't exist, effectively. This ASM is one of those ones that just kills you. Because it's so weird. Nothing plays with it. People that make funny viruses. I mean, the last funny virus I saw, and it probably might have been 10 years ago at this point, was Ransomware. Which was ransomware that made you play one of the Toho games on, like, the insane difficulty. And if you couldn't get a sufficient score, it would, like, just brick your hard drive. Which at least funny, but, you know. Or owning a website called Free Drink Coaster and open your CD-ROM tray. How you doing, Nick and Heck? Yeah, that was back when, like, people were more and more trusting of ActiveX and the like. ActiveX plugins were bad to some extent. There were legitimate uses, don't get me wrong. The, like, South Korean and Japanese banks relied upon them because, at least at the time, and this is one of those really weird little facts, shipping cryptography that used a bit size larger than 40 bits was considered to be a munition of sorts. And so for everyone outside of the United States, they got a special version of Internet Explorer that only had, like, 40-bit encryption, as opposed to the more common 128-bit, or 64-bit even. I don't even know what cipher was using. But basically, South Korean banks and the Japanese banks rolled their own plugin to handle that kind of thing. And it was standard for a long time, which is why one of the reasons IE6 was so sticky. Is that, like, they couldn't give up their encryption standard even after they had, like, the United States acquiesced and allowed better cryptography to be shipped. It was a funny time. Back when people were, like, printing RSA on their t-shirts and finding illegal prime numbers. I guess those things aren't actually related because the illegal prime number is the DECSS thing, but still. It fits in the same class and category to some extent because the content scrambling system kind of sucked, in part because it used a relatively short key length. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. There are still some things I think IE6 does better than modern web browsers, and I would love to find information on this. Because I once, this was forever ago, stumbled across a website that had images where they would look like one thing, but then if you, like, selected them, like select area on them, they would take advantage of the dither pattern that IE6 used when selecting images to make entirely different images. It was really cool, and I've never found any documentation of this since. I think it was a Japanese website, which makes it even more unlikely for me to ever find again, because those were all hosted on, like, weird free hosts that had absolutely insane names. Insanely boring names, really. Infolink. Yeah, that's on me. I got pushed. Dang it. Fun fact, when I'm playing Windows 98 games on the Windows 98 machine, typically there's an option to let you open my CD-ROM tray just to annoy me. Which can actually be was actually disastrous for a couple of the games I played. Like Windows 98, or Final Fantasy VII really doesn't like it when you open the CD-ROM tray while playing. Like, really hates it. It would cause the game to crash. Don't know why. I tried adding an extra CD-ROM tray drive to solve this problem. It didn't solve the problem. If you ejected the CD-ROM, it still would have the same crash. And now I had the problem of the power supply was reticent to let the machine boot with 2 CD-ROMs in it, which is weird. But it's the only reasonable explanation I can come up with as to why that machine became so touch and go for a while in terms of booting up. Anyway, computing was, in fact, more fun back then. Some people say it's nostalgia, but I tell you, I boot up the Windows 98 machine periodically, and I'm like, no, it's just legitimately better, unfortunately. Things go quicker. To be fair, we are cheating a bit. It is nicer hardware than most people had in that era. But, like, it is embarrassing how long some things take to open, when all they do is really just present you some text. I just noticed the Sega in the background. I was like, you know, that looks like Sega console in the background. I'm gonna just take it. I'm gonna just take it. Oh good, I'm no longer flying. Okay. Yeah, I'm still on the fence. I'm like 80% I think it's Boozius. And like 70%, and like the other 20%'s like, I don't think it fits Boozius's level design aesthetic all that much. I don't know. It's getting to me. When you were a kid making games in Fusion, you would spam the OpenCD-ROM tray command. It is a well-documented fact, it's true. Hooray, the level is completed. Thank you for the GGs. Yeah, that was a good level. I think mostly just suffered from blindness in spots. We should get the other areas music, but here we are. Yeah, I think that was a pretty good level, just suffered from me not being able to see things. That's not helpful, is it? Yeah, it's close enough. Yeah, it's using a layer 3 background, which is the actual background, I guess? No, layer 3 is not the background. Layer 3 is clearly the lens flare, because when we pop up the box, the lens flare goes away. Is it still? Oh, it does permanently go away. That kind of sucks. Huh. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to write some notes. It was an interesting level.